I got fastest lap too.
Oh, look at you go.
But come on, let's get on with it. 3, 2, 1, we're almost ready. Are you ready? Go, go, go! Green, and away we go. Summer Series 25 drivers streaming down into turn 1, and already Wilco looks like he's got the jump on Albert and takes the lead, but Albert is not done with yet. He's going to go around the sexy Rexy, yibbida, folks, down there in 4th, and all the while this is giving Wilco the chance to pull out in front. Themselves up here in the opening lap, but Bob, it's been hectic, but not quite as hectic as what I thought it would be. Down the inside of Sideways, is it going to work, Bob, or is it going to end in tears? I think it's come off. Yes, it has. Go! As we come through to complete the lap, Sideorg, our winner from last week and championship leader, King in there as well, and don't tell me Wilco could have gone from 1st to 3rd in a matter of corners here, Bob. I reckon he's lost the lead, and he could be down to 3rd by the end of the opening lap. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Wherever you're watching right around the world, hello and welcome to the GamerGearDirect LifeLine 4 hours of Kyalami. And it's the top 10 shootout qualifying. We've got half an hour of qualifying before the top 10 shootout a little bit later on in the evening. And all part of Charity Month. As we count down to the end of Charity Month, we have a big weekend, and it all kicks off Friday night. That's right, here at Kyalami. As I welcome, we'll go one by one. We've got an extra in the commentary box tonight. He's much more than an extra, let me tell you. But I first welcome the man from South Australia, Littlehampton. It is Voodoo. It sounds like a boxing match, Voodoo. Good evening to you.
Doing good. Looking forward to tonight. Stayed awake until 8 AM because I couldn't sleep. So, you know, this top 10 shootout later on is going to be spicy. But first off, we've got to get through this drawing half an hour qualifying session, but looking forward to it.
As we take a look at Hoon Corp on your screen. In fact, it might be a Little Mac, of course, as we have a time. Captain Risky, the insurance specialist for BCG3 there at the top with a 2:44. I think we're going to see lots quicker than that in the next half an hour. But half an hour for qualifying, then the top 10 shootout, like I mentioned. And as I welcome a new man to the scene, he's not new in every respect, but he's back after a bit of a layoff. New console, new game, and he's with us. I speak of the Slayer from 1945, Rob Mad Dog Spicy Pearson. Hello to you.
Yeah, how you going there, Trev? I think we're pretty much demonetised now, so we can say whatever we want. It's nice to be back in the commentary box with you two, and it's going to be an interesting night. I have no idea what's going on. I haven't read the notes, even though our man Wilco has provided them. I believe in such things, but from what I've heard, Reno's team, the Kings Racing team, around about half a second off so far with their qualifying pace, but as it is only qualifying, we're going into an endurance race in the next night or two, so it doesn't really matter where you're going to end up in qualifying, but always at the front of the grid is more preferred.
It certainly is. Never a truer word spoken. And Chuck Norris, if we're still on Twitch by the end of tonight, we'll be doing extremely well, I reckon. But this is the half-an-hour qualifying session for the Australian-New Zealand Endurance Series, GamerGearDirect, LifeLine, Kyalami, Foster's, Qantas Australian Series, and with thanks to our great sponsors, of course. And like we said, Rob, those extensive notes from Wilco, we'll get to those in a moment. And Lewis, go! Just subscribed, Lewis. Thank you for that. He said, "Let's go, baby!" And boy, it's going to be a huge night. And thinking about what we've got in store for us here tonight, then you can see 30 minutes official qualifying, of course. Once the session is finished, those who are in positions 11 to 25 may exit the lobby. Unfortunately, you haven't made the top 10 shootout, and that's very obvious. What's going on with these notes? And Lewis, he says, "I'm back, lads. Great to have you with us." And we've got the top 10 shootout. After that, as soon as the session goes green, team who qualified P10 will go out to track. And you know how it goes after that. But my goodness me, Cam. This circuit, we've got a bit of a retro round as well happening. And Voodoo gifting subs to the Rob Dog Slayer 1996. They're fantastic stuff. But Voodoo, this circuit has come and go, has joined us. He says, "Righto, not here for long. Take your opportunity to sing the song of my people, my good man. Come. And look at that. How good is that? And a special shout out also to Dask, who messaged me before coming on air tonight. He said, "Hey Trev, letting you know his old man tunes in and he turns 82 this year and he reckons that we're pretty entertaining. Keep up the good work, super job." And we've met the sub goal. Holy smokes, we've met the sub goal already, Rob, and we're 16 minutes into the stream. What an absolute night we're going to have here.
Yeah, it's going to be an absolutely ecstatic night. Ecstatic, is that the word I'm looking for here? They don't really care at all, but just going through the list here at the moment, I think Mint Matt, is that the bloke off of GT7, Trev?
It certainly is one of our favourites too as well, and he's a pretty handy peddler on ACC by all reports, Dragon Slayer, or whatever your name is.
Yeah, but that's the thing though, Trev, because I have played a fair bit of Gran Turismo 7, of course you have as well, and come across this man's AI, and he's nothing to deal with. So let's just write that team out for tonight. But from what I have heard, the BCG2 key, there's so many of these cars in there. BCG2 key, and apparently this is a very, very quick car to watch out for, as well as also Twitchy in the Hooncourt car. I don't know why he's called Twitchy, but he really knows how to pelt that car around the Little Mac in that BMW that has a puckered butthole for a face. That's going all right as well. And
that's right, Cheesy Mac and Twitchy, just one of the many characters as we have here tonight, along with Rob Dog and Dragon Slayer. I mean, who are you? Anyway, I've lost that on the screen now, but Rob from South Australia, it's great to have him back, isn't it? We've missed him. And Mick Matt, the 2015 GT Academy champion, and of course the AI from Gran Turismo 7, who greets you in the cafe, and something you and I have played plenty of. As we take a look at these times, and good gracious, Mavis Cam has been gifting us subs like you would not believe, hand over fist, gifting tier 1 subs there like it's going out of fashion, Spicy Boy. He is absolutely on the Brussels sprouts, if you don't mind, over there, isn't he?
Oh yeah, the Brussels sprouts, bit of horseradish as well. You know, did you know, Trev, if you want to sell an old horse like an old nag, you know how you spice them up is you put a little bit of ginger in their rectum. It gets them going, and I do believe our man has had a bit of ginger in his bumhole tonight.
That's right. If you don't want a dog to keep digging a hole, you just chuck a bit of Tabasco in there with a bit of ginger, I think, and that should stop him straight away. But this Twitchy...
Yeah, but Trev, to be fair, Trev, you do have a North Korean dog Yeah.
Yes, glorious Juntao the third, who's with us tonight, the glorious leader. As 21 minutes remaining in this session, and can we please talk about the on-track action? And Spicy Boy and Chuck Norris alongside me, and it's a 1:41.222. Rest in peace, Richie Beto, for Hooncorp, leading the way 3/10 ahead of Mintmat, and then it's Keaton for BCG2 and Pony Club in fourth. And JC1, first time chatter, what's he got to do, please, Nigerian Prince?
Mr. Convoy, be sure to hit that follow button if you haven't.
And the hype train, toot toot, is absolutely up and about. I've lost one of my screens, but I can tell you what, Rob, this track is not one for the faint-hearted. We do apologise for the older version in the thumbnail, the Nelson Mandela version there before the race tonight, but it's a challenging track nonetheless, Mad Dog Pearson.
Yeah, it definitely is. Just jumping on board with Mint Matt at the moment. He's coming up to the downhill section into a really, really big braking. There's a lot of opportunities for overtaking here, obviously. Straight into the first corner, hard on the brakes, down on the inside. You can really get down in there and close that early when you're coming out to make a position up. So it's an exciting circuit. I've had 2 pole positions here. We used to do ACC on the PS4. Of course, I did shit in both those races, to be honest. But yeah, from a little bit of experience, I did some laps tonight with Wilco just before we started streaming. And I got to say, you got to have, it's difficult because you want to have a bit of a looser setup around this circuit. To get that car flying in the rear around so you can get right in the corners. But from a qualifying setup to a racing setup, it's a different ball game. You want a nice stable car, something that's going to be easy to drive for our race.
Certainly do. Rob, you seem to be cutting in and out there on my end, but no, certainly not the type of place to get too loose at the moment. And my goodness, Hooncorp 1, we see Twitchy in the pit lane. They're a 1:41.067. My goodness me, that's pacey. And then it's Mintman in second, 5/10 behind, half a second behind. And then it's Keaton and little Cheesy Mac there in fourth. And then Pony Club. What a great show that was in the 90s. Not that I used to watch it, Rob, nor that I would admit to watching it. But still, Sofa King there in sixth. And wow, the gap between first and second at the moment, Rob, it's like Mike Tyson's front teeth, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like Mike Tyson's front teeth, mate.
Oh, you're just a piece of shit.
Job about it earlier.
You're a piece of shit.
That's it. You know, that's the thing though. We've only had 12 minutes of qualifying so far, so the times are definitely going to tumble. And also, as soon as the day progresses, the track will get a bit cooler, the cars will get a bit quicker. So some guys will set up for a bit of a warmer circuit, a bit more sun on the circuit. Other guys will be thinking about the long game. So these times will definitely tumble. And I've got a few bets on Wilco and his team and car there to slightly slither up the grid. But it's anybody's game, mate.
It certainly is, as Nemo has joined us, Rob. He says, oh, it sounds like Robbie, and a big fan of Rob, and you can understand, given how glorious you are, Rob, over there in South Australia. The people have wanted to hear your voice for some time now, and you have deprived them.
I have deprived them. Unfortunately, real life gets in the way, and can't be one of these 24 guys at the moment who are sweaty nerds pedaling away on their fake racing wheels. But it is what it is. I thought I'd come back for one night, maybe one night only, and I'll leave everybody guessing for another year and a half.
He's going to Rosberg it, and he's in equal machinery as well, ladies and gentlemen, that's for sure. And a big shout out to Daska's old man, who I think I've already said it, but he turns 82 this year. Wow, that's a fantastic effort, Chuck Norris, turning 82. I'll be pretty chuffed if I get to the big 8-0 in my lifetime. And I wonder what we will be playing then, and when we're eating our soup. But we have a look now. 16 and a half minutes left in qualifying, almost halfway here. And his job tonight is done, says Andrelli. Go Pies and FTSC. And fantastic stuff. Thanks for the thumbnail, Andrelli. He's a Pies man. Hopefully they can wrap up the minor premiership tonight. And anyone outside of Victoria probably doesn't know what we're talking about. Oh no, says Lewis. HC Lewis is getting in the car. Look out as Aaron, whoever that is off the circuit there and straight back into the pit lane as Nismo says Hooncorp 3 sitting just outside the top 10 in its debut ACC entry. Wow, that is a fantastic effort as we see Wilco for Kings Racing outside the top 10 and with only 15 minutes to go. That is a little bit nerve-wracking for them, Chuck Norris, but there's still plenty of time here.
Yeah, there's still plenty of time. As you said, there's only 15 minutes to go, which is an eternity in racing terms. But one guy who could probably really speak to the point of just planning out your qualifying strategy and when do you go for it, do you wait till the end of the session, would be our man who is currently on the cabbage.
Yes, that's definitely right. A bit like Ayrton Senna, who in qualifying we've seen Ayrton Senna, he won't be able to talk to us about it unfortunately, but I've got to say it's all down to the final minutes of qualifying and the track rubbers in as we see our man Chuck Norris there. LifeLine, of course, Rob, supporting LifeLine in mental health and suicide prevention. And if you want to make a donation, please follow the link bit.ly/ on your screen there. A fantastic cause. And we are looking tonight, Rob, Juden, to pass that $1,000 mark. And what a fantastic achievement that would be.
That would be an excellent achievement. It's going to a great cause. You should all donate. And, you know, what is $5 at the end of the day? I mean, obviously inflation, but $5 towards a good charity. You should definitely put your money towards it.
No doubt about that. Every Deutschmark counts. And no matter how little the donation is, you can go off and push your wheelbarrow off to get a loaf of bread. But as long as you can donate anything, Rob, that's the most important part. Even with hyperinflation and looking for Lebensraum in the East, it's always important to put every dollar aside and donate to such a good cause here.
Well, that's it. Every Reichmark counts. I mean, for $5 you can definitely buy some Panzer Schokoladen, but you could also donate to a good cause, and that's what's really important. And I just noticed something, Trev. The 3 Aston Martin, if you have a look at the livery on that car there, and also red, white and blue livery, and in P6 we got Little Mac in the BMW with a there, so not P-Max, so it's one of the BMWs in the field, which is ironic because we've got a war in on the circuit here. It's spread out from the east.
Certainly is. Berlin to Warsaw on one tank, I think, is the slogan they use down there. It might even be a Volkswagen. But let's just recap if you're joining us. A 140. Well, like I said, Rob, if we're still going at the end, that'll be a fantastic achievement. And the donations are coming in, Mad Dog Pearson, because Riggsy, thank you for the 25.25 donation to Lifeline, and announcements galore here as well. Slayer, and that is that Burra Dog has donated $15. He's the sort of bloke you want to take out for lunch and have a beer with, isn't he? What an absolutely fantastic effort, Rob, from both Riggsy and Burra Dog here tonight.
No, that's a good effort, and definitely, you know, that's going to go a long way at the end of the day. You know, every little bit helps here. And you should definitely donate. I should probably donate myself, but I just spent all my money on KFC, so.
No, I thought you said you were donating yourself there for a second as we take a look at Keaton now.
Well, you know, look, OnlyFans, my friend. As we have seen, you can fund a whole racing career with OnlyFans.
You certainly can, and not that there's anything wrong with that, but what on earth, Nemo? This is Nemo. He says, what on earth is Rob waffling on about? And Nemo, as soon as I know, I'll let you know. But Abdul says, nice Top Gear call there. Great stuff. And Sidorg says, Wilco's PB puts him in the 10, just inside the 10. He's near the drop-off zone there. And Beaky from Frankganistan down there in Kringle says, hey Trev, please say hi to Ali, James, Jacinta and my granddaughter Melody. A big, big shout out to all of you. Ali, James, Jacinta and the granddaughter Melody listening to Uncle Rob, Uncle Chuck and Uncle Trev, Kid Bias here on the stream tonight. What a good chap Beaky is, if you don't mind, Rob. One of the good ones.
Yeah, it's one of the good ones. I have no idea about half these people we're mentioning, but they're all good people, of course, Trev. I do believe Cam's got a bit quiet there in the background. He might have asleep. Maybe he's gotten abducted by a submarine. Called back to a long time ago when we used to call races. But yeah, I think these guys here, Wilco and Willstar, those guys in the bottom, I want to say bottom 5, they really are finding some pace at some point in their cars, because you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people realistically who can get inside that top 10. So this is starting to get a little bit uncomfortable for those guys.
He certainly is. And Beaky says it's Kringle, for God's sake. Sorry about that, Beaky. I've got that right. And Beaky's one of the pure ones, I've got to say, Rob. I know you're seeing a few new names here tonight, but I've got to say from first-hand experience, he's an Oscar Schindler. He's very pure, and he's one of the good people. But as we see, Twitchy coming across the line, he still sits in provisional pole position with a 141.067, still half a second. I think we likened the gap to the front of Mike Tyson's teeth, which his teeth seem to be social distancing. It's a lot easier to say that up here, Rob. I don't think I'd say it in front of him anytime soon, but you can see how close it is for second, third, fourth. And look at that, just 0.02 of a second between Aaron for Rubbins Racing and Pony Club there. It is tight at the top.
It certainly is tight at the top. Actually, while we're going to Wilco earlier this evening, sorry, these tyres do take a couple of laps to rubber ends. Put a fresh set of tyres on, and it takes about 3 or 4 laps for them to really get to that point where they switch on. So yeah, it's going to be probably where all these other guys are going to start getting out on circuit now and trying to find some fresh air. Try to not get too close to the car in front, just in case you get a little bit of aero wash and really put in a lap.
As we take a look, and hi to the family, hope you're all doing well. You're too kind, says Beaky. One of the good ones, like I said, mate. Big hello once again to Ali, James, Jacinta, and your beautiful granddaughter, Melody, mate. Great to have you all tuning in. You're fantastic people, and a big hello to you, a fellow Victorian down there. Abdul wants to know, is this PC or console? It is on the PS5. Thank you, Nismo, on the console. And Sidorg getting amongst it. Sidorg back from Amsterdam, Rob, and the Gran Turismo series over there. Very privileged to have this man Sidorg with us tonight, fresh off the plane from Amsterdam, a place where I'm sure you and I could have a bit of fun.
Yes, Amsterdam would be a bit of fun. I couldn't say what we would get up to, but I could definitely say it would involve some sort of mythical cabbage. But I do believe that he was over GT7 championships, which is a fantastic result. Just to be even invited to an event like that is pretty mega. So we got some very quick guys in here. Of course, we've got Mint Matt, who is one of the AIs out of GT7. There's a lot of GT7 happening here on the competitor game.
Certainly is, as Albert. Hello there, Albert. He says, I love you, Wilco. Doesn't mention me, though, and I thought we were pretty good friends there, Albert. But anyway, I'm sure he meant to chuck me in there as well, as the chat is going off. Sidorg, the king of Amsterdam, no doubt about that. As we see Smitty come back into the pits, we've got Stewie Wilson outside the top 13. Under 7 minutes to go, and it's probably about time, Rob, I should start looking at the actual qualifying notes that we got sent through. Mid to high 140. And, well, we've that's been and gone. Likely to be Twitchy, that's right. Gee, there's nothing outstanding here in these comments. Should we even bother with Wilco's qualifying remarks here anymore, Rob? That's what I'm thinking.
Well, we never really go to them back in the day anyway, apart from the track map. So we'll just wing it. We'll come up with some fake drama. For example, I do believe Figo has actually stabbed Jason in the neck. So Wilco will be out for the rest of the session. Riggsy has sugar packets into we'll go with Matt's fuel tank.
And that's dreadful. He seemed like such a nice boy too. And Wilco clinging like a bowl, bowl stuck to B10. Oh yes, we went there, didn't we? Gee, these, I'm not kidding, Rob, these qualifying notes from Jason Wilkinson aren't a lot really much to write home about there. But we'll stick with our own stuff, I think. But Sidorg amongst it, great to have him with us. And Abdul also as well, and Alberto is also with us. But wow, we are not seeing anybody come close to this 141.067 as Figo, who stabbed somebody, we think, in the driver's briefing earlier today. We are starting some Netflix-style drama here tonight. But my goodness me, there's some big names almost, there's some big names on the cusp of the top 10, and with 5 minutes to go, they want to get their skates on, Rob, because there is not much in it around that top 10 area.
No, there's not much in it. It's almost bees, alleywacker in it, to be honest, Trev. So, yeah, you got to be feeling for some of these guys here. I mean, you guys are probably feeling pretty good at the moment. They're like, well, we could probably push for an extra 10th, 2 tenths, 3 tenths here. But yeah, anybody who's 5th to 10th, they should be feeling pretty nervous at the moment. There's a lot of good talent through the field, so there's you can't really get complacent. But also, did that Twitchy during the practice sessions was managing a 140, so it'd be awesome to see if he can get into the 40s at some point tonight. Although, with some of the guys through the pack there, I would hate to see that number.
Oh, they'll be getting nervous, all right. They'll be like Jeffrey Epstein in his cell about just after lights out, I reckon. That's how nervous they will be here. But Wilco just outside the top 10 by a bee's reproductive organ, if you don't mind. You can see it's a thousandth of a second could be the difference between life and finishing inside that top 10 as we take a look at Messick coming around the final corner for Heatstroke Racing across the line. He's 2 tenths outside of the top 10 shootout. Can he improve? He might just be on a lap here as Andrelli. I thought you were going to watch the football, Andrelli. Keep the scores coming through because I'm using every available screen to stream ACC. But 3.5 minutes left in qualifying as we're going to do a welfare check on Cam in just a moment because he's been awfully quiet there over in the land of the long white cloud. But let's have a look at Riggsy has disposed of Wilco inside the top 10 now, and he is outside of the top 10. And wow, this is a big turn up for the books here at Kyalami.
No, that's really good. I mean, see, there's nothing in it. That's what I'm talking about. If you can get just that extra 10th on your lap and put yourself up at 1 position, 2 position, that's going to be huge. I mean, at the moment, Riggsy's in the top 10. If he goes into the shootout in a couple of minutes and somebody has a mistake, locks a wheel, puts his car into a wall, something I would do, that's going to be massive. He could end up anywhere, you know, in the mid pack. So that's a really good result for him. Wilco's been, as you said, dislodged. He's got to find some pace in that McLaren. He did say it's a little bit not quick around here. He said the second sector is awesome, but everywhere else it just feels pretty slow. But you know, I got to rub salt in the wounds. It is, you know, old time arch nemesis. Been racing with him since the dawn of dinosaurs, back on the PS4 days. So yeah, he's got to get a really good wriggle on. I mean, is it really the end of the world, though, if you say start 11th or 12th in an endurance race? It is 4 hours. You know, there's a lot that goes into it.
Oh, a lot goes into it. We've got 2 minutes now in this session. That is right. Don't stress about me, says Chuck Norris. Happy listening. Loving it at the moment. I've got him all day Sunday to myself. And we might even get into the commentary box as well. But you can see, thank you, Andrelli. He's put through the scores. Fiona is here. And there we have it. Thank you, Fiona, long-time member of the Kid Buyers channel family. And Fuller Boy, hi team, welcome back. Come on, CFD. They are getting up and about in the chat with 90 seconds to go And is anybody going to catch this twitchy character up in first position? That is the question. But what is Wilco going to do if he cannot get inside that top 10? Messick as well. And then it's Stude Wilson in 13th along with Smitty, Metal Steel and Dask, whose old man turns 82 this year, Rob. Intense final minute coming up.
Yeah, very intense final minute coming up. We should expect some of the times to fall down now, but if I was Twitch, I'd be pretty happy. He's got almost half a second on the rest of the field. So that's a good result for him. Not as good as, you know, I see the name Twitch and I think of Fubbles, which is pretty bad, to be honest. His palms are nice and sweaty. Keaton was, I did see him coming out of the pit lane, so he's really trying to get some warmth in those tyres, trying to get him fired up for this last lap, because this definitely will be the last lap for him. 32 seconds coming on the clock, and at the last corner there, and you got Mint Matt. Whoa. To start another lap, so this is probably do or die for him.
And you can see there Keaton now as these drivers getting prepared. Who is going to make it? There's a couple of yellow flags out for something. I think down at the Mandela curve there, which so we're just making up names now, aren't we? But 3, 2, 1, 0. That is the end of this session. But there are drivers. Who have we got on a lap here, Rob? I'm trying to look at the track map. And
yeah, we've got Keaton on a lap here at the moment, so he's going towards the large right-hand sweep. I do believe that's turn 5. So he's coming up to the next timing split, so that'll be interesting to see where he's at. Aaron's gone into the pit, so he is out for the rest of the session. Sitting in P4, that's a great result for him. We got Figo going at the second last corner. Don't clout that corner, very nice. Bit wide to that time there. Oh, if it didn't delete time, that's put him in a bad position. You don't want to go too wide here. Will take away your time or the grip from your tyres, and he finishes in 5th place. We got Sofa King as well coming down the downhill section into the hard on the brakes, points it in a little bit farther away from the apex than you would want, running it out wide, trying to run out of the last corner. Where does this put him? It puts him, leaves him in PA, and he does a ballerina spin straight into the wall. Beautiful.
Here we go then.
I do believe that is our top 10.
Our top 10 looks like it's set, or is it Wilco using every bit of curve available to him? He'll be sweating like a dog.
Oh, you can hear guys screaming. You can see him correcting the rear end, oversteer there.
And
that's lost us some time, and he's decided to well trade centre the wall.
Yep, he's gone full centre into that, like you wouldn't believe. He is outside the top 10. Unbelievable there. Awesome job from Aaron for Rubbins Racing, says Shamrock. Knees weak, mum spaghetti, vomited on his sweater already. That's right, Voodoo. Thank you. Riggsy and Wilco only just missing out on the top 10 shootout by 1/10 of a second. What a session. Well done, Stu, says Megan Markle. And Wilco says Burradog, man, what a session that was. And wow, we are just recapping. Take a breath out there in your AI Terminator Cybernet world, because what a session we've just witnessed. And we've got the top 10 shootout coming up.
Fastest lap too.
And
Oh, look at you go.
And he certainly will be. And Wilco redeeming his own sound effect, Rob, the salty Jason Wilkinson. And he'll be sitting there rather sweaty and rather salty here tonight as Squirty Squid, Rob, Squirty Squid has joined the chat. That's, I'm just visualising that in my brain at the moment, but what do they need to do? First time chatter, please let them know.
Squiddy Squid, I don't exactly know what to say, Trev. That's almost fried my own brain. It's like I've been on the cabbage for a while. That's, I don't know what to do, Trev. I'm scared.
And yes!
I got fastest lap too.
Fiona!
Look at you go.
The salty! The salt! Let me get the salt! Shaking the salt! And I expect to squirt at some stage during this race. And we'll just we'll just see.
There goes the money.
We'll just let us know, Squirty, where you're watching from and your gender as well, because there's a few of them nowadays. But we are just ticking down to the start of the top 10 shootout, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a short intermission, and I've been booted from the server, it appears. But we will get reconnected into that, I believe, as we get kicked out. Mad Dog Pearson alongside me with Chuck Norris, the Nigerian Prince. I think there's a lobby reset before we have the top 10 shootout here. As soon as the session goes green, the team, of course, who qualified 10th will go out onto the track.
I am too old to have driven here, but you would have liked it.
Which I don't
wasn't fast
exactly
enough to get to
remember
Formula
which
One.
team it was, because I'm pretty sure it was one of the Lamborghini teams. So I don't know why you would drive a Lamborghini in this on this game. They drive like shit, but a good effort on at any point of the day. So it'd be interesting to see. You know, you get one lap to do it right. Warm-up lap, it's a preparation lap, trying to get those tyres in the window as much as you can, working the brakes, make sure they really bite into that first corner there. So there's a lot that goes into a good flying lap, a good single lap run. So we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens as I just reveal the password for the entire world to see. But there we go, top 10 shootout coming up. And Squirty Squid says, my name is Chris. I'm in Melbourne, a big fan of the Astons and memes. A little bit disappointed there. Chris is the name, Rob. But anyway, still fantastic to have you with us. You guys can load back in. And the password, a little bit too late for that. But top 10 shootout. And just referring to these notes, which I know you've got in front of you as well, Rob. But you only get one lap to set your time. If you crash or invalidate, unfortunately, bad luck. We'll see you next year. As you may recall, Happy Gilmore trying out for the hockey team. And better luck next year. And we'll use your time from quali to set the grid for the other cars. Once the cars start their lap and go through turn one, the next car will leave the pits and go to the track, so on and so on. And that is all I can be bothered reading. But the action is about to kick off. And boy, we are excited. We're frightened and horny here at the moment, I've got to say, Rob, because we have finally made it to the top 10 shootout with 36 beautiful people watching us here tonight.
Yes, excited and horny, just the way it should be, unless you're getting hit with a baseball bat. But yes, we're all excited. We're waiting for, I think, one more team to re-enter the lobby. But I do believe Wilco will be marching down to the shooting office and probably pulling the whole race. Probably really upset with that result. Good old Bernie Elkerson that we have there as our noble leader of our Junhui state.
Yes, definitely. I guess he'll be making up all sorts of excuses there. Will our man Jason Wilkinson. He'll say that the machines were getting recalibrated in the morning. He'll probably use that as a reason why he's got such a small pile
at the moment.
of hinges. And yeah, well, it's only a top 10, Rob, and we've got to make room. And it seems that he just wasn't quick enough with his hinges tonight.
Yes, those hinges weren't very quick, and also, why does he have milk if there's no cows in the paddock? You know,
definitely.
What's the point?
What is the point, indeed? Salt in the wounds. Anything he can do, Voodoo says. What a man he is. And I think we've got some action aplenty here, ladies and gentlemen. Because, no, we're still in the pit lane. But wowee, look at that. For the record, says Fuller Boy. You guys are on the big screen and F1 is on the phone. And who gives a stuff about the F1 when you've got the Endurance Series, the GamerGearDirect Qantas ING, GamerGearDirect LifeLine Sprint Series, 4-hour Endurance Series.
Sponsored by Marlboro Reds and
and Winnie Blues. JPS,
Yep.
British Tobacco, Rothmans, you name it. And the way it should be, very close indeed. But how good's Fuller Boy? He's got us on the big screen tonight out there.
Yeah, big screen and the little screen for the Formula One. So clearly, Sky Sports, please bring me and Trev towards the fold. We'll improve your viewership by tenfold, and you'll get a history lesson on the way. If you want to learn about the Battle of Berlin, we're your people.
Certainly is, and the River Odin or Oder or whatever it was called. But Sophie King saying, wow, panicked and only just made the top 10, and it's better than a lot of people who didn't make the top 10. Riggsy says, early shower and listen and watch this stream wizardry. And you'll get a bit of that dark magic wizardry there, of course. We've got the Nigerian prince alongside us, who's gone all shy there. I know you're there, Chuck. Don't get all shy. What are you getting all shy for? As there's ways to milk. There's ways to milk without cows, says Squirty. Squid, I've got to say that he's up and about down there in Melbourne in more ways than one, Rob, down there tonight. Squirty getting right amongst the action there.
Yes, I have seen those videos on the internet. I do not want to say where I have seen them, but they are on the internet. Yes, is that whose horse is that?
And that's no doubt about that. I'm just getting a few messages here. And let's take a look at the comments. You beautiful people out there in the comments, let us know. Give us a bit of feedback. We take all positive feedback on board. Need to take a leaf out of Sidorg's book. Spa 10th to 1st for Sunday. Time for a beer, says Wilco. I'm hungry, says Fiona. And Fiona, it's just... We'll have to wait and see what we can whip together for you. But we're going to have a top 10 shootout like none other. And very intense indeed as we see the first car coming out onto the track for FTSC2. It is Fly Sky, the man who likes to fly solo, of course, in this endurance series, coming out onto the circuit here, Rob. We've finally got some on-track action in the top 10 shootout.
Yeah, we've got a bit of action. Got to say, he came out of the pit lane there quite sprightly. He is not stable, even though it's a warm-up lap. So, yeah, that's an interesting way to get your tyres and brakes warm, is just absolutely handle them for the first lap and see what happens. Although I haven't really played this game as much as anybody else has, so if anybody out there who was currently being kicked out of the top 10 qualifying, Wilco, he could probably explain to me why he's absolutely hammering the car straight from the get-go.
And of course, it certainly is, as Fiona has cheered 100, and she's hungry, and we're willing to feed you tonight, both of us, with some on-track action here. As Andrelli says, this is Fly's first race since he was recruited, Rob Pearson, by FTSC. They recruited him and purchased him, and now he's part of a much bigger team as Go Fly Fly the flag, mate, says Exorcist. And Zesto58, first time chatter. That is fantastic. Don't forget to follow if you haven't already. But this man recruited to FTC SC2. My goodness, that's a mouthful. And he's about to start his hot lap, Rob.
Yeah, he's about to start his hot lap. He's got really hot into the corner, but he's managed to make it work. He's about to cross that timing beam there, and we'll see what he can do. It's really, really stressful, really braking area into turn one here, but you want to get it almost as late as possible to get a 90-degree entry into that corner. He's gone wide in the first corner.
And he certainly has gone wide through the Dukeski corner there, I think it's called. But anyway, he's coming up to the barbecue, and he's just barbecued that very nicely, coming down to the flowing turns 6 and 7, Sunset and Clubhouse. And he takes those fairly well.
Fantastic!
And Zesto is now following the channel. Fantastic! Thank you, Zesto. God bless you out there. And Fiona FTSC, go, go, go! Raw! What is it good for? Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely
nothing. Sing it again. Ooh! And everybody knows war. And around this corner he comes. I'm not sure of how this lap's going to fare, but we see Stewie Wilson back out onto the track. I don't think this is going to be awfully competitive, but he's done better than some, getting it inside the top 10 for his team. And we see him come through the final couple of corners. But, well, this is going to be interesting to see where this will put him in the top 10 shootout, Rob. First out on track here tonight.
That rear end just started stepping out there a little bit. Kept it under control quite wide there at a very tidy end his lap around that last corner, and we'll get a reference here, 1:42.7, so not a bad lap at all. It's a good, comfortable lap, so we'll see where our next driver will be, but you know what, that's a good confidence lap, that one.
As you can see there, we do apologise. We've got the graphics on our screen now. Big shout out to you, Andrelli. I missed the graphics there for Fly Sky, but now we've got the graphics just cutting edge. We say it every time, but beautiful cutting edge graphics. You can see there, Wilco gifting a tier 1 sub to Andrelli. And boy, we've hit that, we've smashed the roof off that target of the gifted subs. Well done, Fly, says Burra. Squirty Squid getting amongst it, Andrelli also there. And boy, the viewers are just going through the roof. And I feel like an absolute creep being in that many lounge rooms on big screens, Rob.
Yes, it's a weird feeling. The last time I was in this many lounge rooms, I was... honestly, I don't think I've been in this many lounge rooms. I'm not a rich man, but yes, it's a bit creepy knowing that everybody is watching and almost judging you for what you do and say. I'm glad we haven't said anything too controversial yet, but there's still plenty of time in the night for that.
Certainly is. 39 people watching still, and boy, I think a few of the drivers might even have jumped out and jumped on to the stream, which is great to see. CFD and in the hands of Stu Wilson and Riggsy. Wilco gifting subs. We are just getting hammered with subs. This is incredible. Big shout out to everybody for the support. We absolutely love you out there. And it is Fly Sky sitting with a 1:42.722.
Or did I not?
Did I send it?
Yeah, you
Oh, send it!
Oh, send it, baby. Smooth opera.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, he's hit the curb, and that's the end of his qualifying session,
Rob!
I do believe there, Trev.
He is off and into the gravel. And that is going to be tits up for his session. He's going to come round and complete the lap, but disaster. I've already told that joke earlier in the week about the lady who backed into the fan at disaster. And boy, that is absolutely tragic. I've been told not to use that word disaster. But what other words can you use to explain that piece of driving there?
Yeah, but that's what I said, Trev, just before we started this session. It's you could end up in the top 10 towards the end of the pack. Once it comes to a top 10 shootout, you can end up mid-pack just because people make mistakes. So just as we saw, they hit the curve too hard, just set him out wide into Neverland, and that's it for him. So we've got one driver who done a really nice, comfortable lap, put himself in a P9 just because somebody else has made a mistake, and that's what it's all about, just getting that nice, solid lap in. You don't have to be the absolute quickest, but a good solid lap can put you around about 5th.
As we see, who's next here? We got Little Mac, or is it Sofa King? I think, is it Sofa King?
I do believe it's Sofa King there, mate.
Sofa King in the number 5. We're just going to get these graphics sorted out for you, ladies and gentlemen. And oh, goodness me. The people have called for it. They've called for commentary cam, would you believe? As we take a look at Sofa King now. And we're going to get the... you knew it. Voodoo knew it. He called it. He said Wilco would get knocked out in the top 10 qualifying session and miss the shootout and go for Kid Buyer's cam. As we're just going to try and get this happening here. As we're in the commentary box, ladies and gentlemen. How good is that? And you are watching Kid Buyers for a lap. And does it get any better than that, Rob Pearson?
It doesn't get better than that, my good man. And it's just a really nice, tidy lap here for the Sofa King. Coming out of the last corner now. This is what I like as a top 10 shooter. Everybody's got their balls to the walls, but they're trying to get as good as they can get. Goes to P1, so that's a good, comfortable lap. Not by much, but it's all you need to do. Comfortable lap. Not try and bin it as much as you can. And you can see there, it gets results. So, yeah, worst comes to worst, be starting 7th for the race.
As everybody just saying about how beautiful that man is in the bottom of your screen. And look at this. We're going to show us your tips.
Show us your tips. Tips out for the boys.
Tips out for the boys, but there we have it as Little Mac. It is a 142.575 for Sofa King, a 10th behind his Fly Sky. And tell us a little bit about this Little Mac and Cheese now for Mac B Racing. And car number 23. And who said men can't multitask here, ladies and gentlemen, as I get the graphics up. And talk us through a lap here, Rob, of this beautiful circuit as we see a Little Mac coming around.
Yeah, so you can see he's absolutely using a lot of the curves there. Engine car, you can really sort of get up on them and use them a bit. So he's doing everything he really needs to do right here. He probably could have gone a little bit wide, trying to open up the road, get a good entry into that corner, but so far so good. Very, very tidy lap. Car ducks in there, very nice. Nice under brakes, this car. Very quick through that right-hander. So he's using the right there. Not too much. If you go too wide, you get your lap time deleted. That's not what you want in a qualifying session such as this. You can see him really putting the power down. The foot flat to the floor. Coming out of that corner, grip, traction control on 4. So absolutely using all the tips and tricks and aids of this car. Hard on the brake into the right hand corner. You want to sort of tap that inside curve there, run it out as wide as you can. Oh, lost a bit of time there. Don't hit this inside curve there, mate. And beautiful, very nice, comfortable. Just leaving enough room deep into the last corner. Up on the inside curve there. No wheel spin coming out. This could be a challenging lap here. This could go to the top.
Here he comes, Little Mac. Where's it going to be? Good enough for P3, just a 10th as well. Off of that 142.575. That's enough commentary, Cam. I reckon. Great lap. Thank you for the follow to Smitty as Squirty Squid getting amongst it there. There we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Commentary Cam, don't forget to use your points wisely as now we're going to take a look at Willstar out on the circuit in car number 27 and getting much better with these graphics as we see. He's calling it, Burra calling Will.i.am, Willstar for pole position. Big call early on here, Rob.
Yeah, very big call, but hell, I've seen some very strange things happen over the time I've been commentating. We've also commentated cricket while commentating, so anything can happen, but it does look like he is right on the limit. You can see the lateral grip going through that car, absolutely on the limit through that right-hand sweeper, really smacking the brakes, using all the road, very nice stuff. Taught him everything I know.
Certainly is, and he sure is feeding it, Burra Dog. You can see how close and desperate he is here as he comes through this long, sweeping part of the track and through the mine shaft or whatever this corner is called. He is absolutely on the limit, and I'm going to call it as well. I reckon we're going to see pole position before our eyes. And my goodness me, strange things happen, Rob, when you're going around the twist. And Will is absolutely on it here this lap.
Yeah, he's absolutely on it. It's almost like a wiggled and jiggled inside it, but beautiful. He's really, hate to say, how to sound like Mark Scope, a very Craig Lowndes-esque. Really using all the road. Very beautiful. The car looks very poised, very nicely set up. It's not moving around on the brakes or the throttle too much. It's just really, really gripped up. And I reckon this is going to look very, very good. Very good indeed.
A 142.310. And that has set the mark for FTSC. With Willstar, a 142.310. Beautiful lap there. Puts him 2 tenths ahead of Sofa King, 4 tenths ahead of both Fly Sky and Cheesy Mac. And as we take a look at Pony Club now, Figo out onto the circuit. Car number 46. And a big shout out to Andrelli for all of these beautiful graphics there. Pony Club Racing, vintage racer. Who, have I mentioned that I've met him down at Sandown?
Oh, he's lost the arse end!
Spin! Round, round, round he goes. And luckily there's no damage there, but that lap has gone up to the Shizer as Voodoo giving Squirty Squid something to celebrate about. Chris down there in Melbourne, a big shout out to you, but this lap has gone tits up almost before it began.
Yeah, tits up, and good job for our man Voodoo there, gifting 3 subs. He'll be cleaning that keyboard off for a week there. But yeah, you know, just mistakes like that, you gotta take the risk, but you want to be calculated in your risk. Do you want to risk running a little bit wide, or do you want to risk turning your ass? Well, basically a whole lap. So if he presses on now, there's nothing saying he can't get to P9, maybe P8. But yeah, one of the quicker cars on the grid, and he's just absolutely titsed up his lap.
Let's have a look. Let's see if he can recover this. 45 people watching the stream, ladies and gentlemen. Fiona, go FTSC. Voodoo handing out subs like they're going out of fashion, and isn't it great to see? Wilco, I was doing that every lap at turn 1, spinning around like Kylie Minogue in those orange shorts all those years ago. Here we go. It looks very twitchy, and we've still got to wait for Twitchy to come out, but around the final corner now, and hitting that apex, running slightly wide, and a little bit of an extension there. He comes across the line. Is it going to be good enough to get inside?
P5's good.
P5 not
good.
too bad considering how Scheisenhausen the start of the lap was, Rob.
Yeah, not too bad considering. But again, like I said, one of the quicker guys out there with a really capable car. You gotta think about the mistakes, you know. But at the end of the day, you know, having a look at the sector times, purple in the second and purple in the last sector. Even if he just was like a couple of tenths off in that first sector, he would have been way up there. So unfortunate for him, but now we got Aaron in the Rubbins Racing pink Ferrari. Beautiful looking car, very well presented, I must say, Trev.
It's very nice indeed. And just like watching Barbie on the opening weekend as well as Oppenheimer, the best of both worlds there with Rubbins Racing and that beautiful livery. Shamrock and Aaron did not start in France. Sacre bleu, but they finished 8th in the United States and 10th as well in Spa. So they'll be looking for a solid top 10 finish here this weekend, Rob.
Yeah, solid top 10 is always good. Points on the board is always a good experience to have, especially after a long race like this. I remember when I used to do a bit of endurance racing, even if you just finished in the top 5, that was an accomplishment by itself. So these guys will be absolutely really looking forward to the race. It's a big deal. It's a different style of racing compared to sprint races that we used to do back in the day. He's around
looking
some time there.
Well, I was about to say, Sidehawk said looking tidy, as Abdul says he's still got a time on the board. Others might make mistakes as well. Matty H, let's go, Ron. Good luck to Aaron in car number 16, says Shamrock. Yo Yickety, Aaron has a great 1 lap pace as he comes through to finish his lap as he's gone deeper than you could ever imagine, really, on a Friday night. Sidehawk put the mockers on him, says Burradog. He comes around the final corner, slightly wide out of the final corner. He comes across the start-finish line. Where's it going to put him? Up to P5, 6/10 off a provisional pole, Rob.
Yeah, 6/10 off that mistake really cost him. At the same time, you do have to go for the risks, but from personal experience, you just want to have a nice tidy lap. But it is one of those things. You get 1 lap to do it. So you intentionally set your car up to be very loose on the rear end just to get that bit of turn in. Yeah, these things happen. At least he's still starting in the top 10, you know, starting P5 so far. But now we've got one of the big guys coming out, Keaton. Beautiful livery on that car, I must say. Really nice turn and using the curb. You can see the suspension travel really using the curb there. So we'll see how this young man goes. Very nice and tidy lap so far. Really circuit. So he's trying to get really good runs out of the corners to be able to use that straight line speed of the McLaren.
So far, so good. And as Norm said, there's an advert right on his teammate's lap, and unfortunately he is poor. And those ads are not much fun, let me tell you. I have no control over those adverts as we take a look at Keaton now for BCG2. And a wise man from South Australia said, once you've got to risk it for the biscuit, Robin, that's what he's doing tonight.
Yeah, definitely risk it for a biscuit. He actually had 2 goes into that bus stop section there. He's sitting in 3rd, shifted down the second just to get that front end turned in and then quickly went back up to third. So he's really on the front end limited with this car. So he's really pushing. You can see how quick he is down the hill there, really deep into that corner there. He's looking very good up on the curb, using every single bit of the road out wide. That's a good surprise, but a welcome one to be sure. Really out wide again, using, as I said, Trev, using all the circuit there, coming in the last corner, really tight on the entry there, wide. And this is looking very nice indeed. Tasty little lap, P1 there, 41.9.
P1 first into the 141s for Keaton, a 141.940. And Sidorg, who's also in Gran Turismo 7, the AI, says the ads pay for Trev's commentary cam. And depending on what you're willing to pay, it also depends what you see on cam. And speaking of GT7, Mint Matt is in the house. And we can see him here now as I look for the number 96. And Matt Simmons, BCG1 Racing Team, Matt Simmons and John O'Stan. They finished 4th in France, 6th in the United States, and 1st in Belgium. And they'll be looking to go first here in South Africa this weekend.
Yes, certainly indeed. As long as they keep their noses clean, there's no reason why they can't do that. Still, 4 hours is a very long time to stay ahead of the pack. There's going to be a lot of shuffling around of the deck. Who's going to play what strategy and who's going to play what strategy, especially with the drivers. You're going to put your slower driver in first. So you can see just really on the lock. Very nice. It's an awkward corner, that one, a little bit amber. So you're really trying to get the car through, and as soon as it snaps, you've got to be right on top of it. But this is looking very quick indeed. Car moving up and down, very stiffly sprung, the Audi is, I find. Very nervous, sort of twitchy little car, but I'm a bit rusty on these games now myself.
And Jason has redeemed the commentary cam for this lap of Matt Simmons's, just to make sure. They want to see both hands as we watch Matt Simmons, the 2015 GT Academy champion, and keeping the hands above board. It's all above board as he comes through the final couple of corners here. And around the final corner, ladies and gentlemen, what is this going to be? He's looking for a 141.940. And why isn't Matt in the Gran Turismo movie? He hasn't done it! And Binger King is now following, and these hands are not going anywhere, ladies and gentlemen, because what a lap, and it is not good enough, though. It's good enough for a front row start at the moment, and everyone wanting to see those hands nice and above the table. Who else have we got? I think we've got Twitchy, who's out there now. Of course, don't forget to donate to this great cause with thanks to LifeLine and Charity Month. Only a few days left in Charity Month. We're aiming for $1,000 here before the end of qualifying tonight, Rob.
Yeah, $1,000 would be all directly deposited into my bank account. No, I'm joking, but every cent does help towards a good cause. So please donate, please be generous. $5, $2. Gives a rat's ass as long as you get some money towards a good charity that's doing good work for a lot of people. And we see Twitchy now on the screen there, Trev. I believe I'm going to call him Fubbles Senior from now on. But this man is so quick. You can see the green sector right on top of the screen, so he's not leaving anything on the line here. As
Wilco saying, remember what you said to me when I told you Sidorg was in GT7 as well, Trev. And how good is that? Turn it off, Trev. That's right. We can get rid of that. Bye, everybody. Bye, Dr. Nick. And there we go. We're getting rid of that for now. But down to business. And this looks like a very sexy lap here, look, as he comes through now to get ready for the final sector. And 49 people watching and listening to your gorgeous voice, Rob, as we take a look at Hooncorp here in the hands of Twitchy. And he's not twitching at all here on this lap, looking very solid. And he's looking at that 141.9 by BCG2. Like, you know what? I'm almost going to hunt that down as he comes through the final couple of corners here, Rob. Drive us home here with Twitchy.
Yeah, he's looking very good. I wouldn't say he's going for 41 here. It's looking like really pushing for the 140. We'll see what happens couple of seconds. It's not going to be a 140, but he goes P1 with 141.4. So not as quick as his initial qualifying time. But boy, he is absolutely hustling that car. So he'll be starting from P1 for the race.
As now, I think who have we got out onto the track now? I think that might
That's
be
all,
it.
Trev.
That is it. Well done, Twitchy. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. We'll get your pole position man very, very shortly. But the number 37 there with Twitchy. 3 out of 3 pole positions, as there's some filthy lies going on in the chat, Rob. Yes, I treat Sidorg and Matt Simmons equally, and let's just say that I have my hands well and truly above the desk. But whilst we don't want to leave you with that visualization, let's recap on the final qualifying results. Twitchy taking the pole position here in the shootout with a 141.405 for Hooncorp Racing. Then it's BCG2 with Keaton, and then it's Matt in third. Willstar in fourth for FTSC, and then JB with Sofa King. Fly Sky in sixth for FTSC2. My goodness me, they keep me on my toes. Little Mac in seventh for Mac B, and he's gifted a sub to my Bingaling. And Rob, do you remember the famous yellow brick Nissan? And want you to come and play with my Bingaling as Figo in ninth, and the rest of them on your screen. What a session we have seen here tonight.
Yeah, very exciting session. A few little mistakes here and there, but yeah, it looks like everybody was absolutely going for it. A few conservative laps, but as I said, you want a conservative lap just to get a number on the board, and just by doing that, we have a couple of guys who have improved their position from the qualifying. So, good little session. I can't wait to see the race. Still undecided if I'll be here for the race myself, but yeah, very good little qualifying session that was.
Absolutely fantastic, as we've got some of the drivers coming in to the post-race driver interviews. Burra says, thanks Trev and Rob, the Dragon Slayer, Voodoo as well, awesome as always. Fiona, thank you, hugs out there, and thank you Chris for the $20 donation to LifeLine, greatly appreciating your support as part of Charity Month. The LifeLine GamerGearDirect, Kyalami 4 hours, and the top 3 are joining the chat as we wait. Now we might get things kicked off with Mint Matt. We've got him here for BCG1 Racing. We're going to wait on the other 2, and then we're going to get to the post-race driver interviews. Rob, if you're okay to stick around for that. I think we might be waiting for Jono from that team. But can we just talk to Matt, Rob, or is that we can't go with that, can we, here, as we wait for the other drivers to come in?
Honestly, I have no idea what I'm doing. The last time we did these interviews, it was very unprofessional, but we did find out that you can get some quality cabbage.
Yes, that is right. They said that it would be always difficult to resist the cabbage. But I've got to say, as we wait for some extra drivers to join us here in the post-race driver interviews, I've got to say that the man who is currently in here, are you ready for this? Take a deep breath, everybody. We've got 52 people watching the stream. Take a deep breath. So, Matt, race on. Here we go. So, time attack. Where are we here? 2015 GT Academy. I'll get this right in a sec, Matt. I know you're out there listening. 2015 GT Academy International Champion. 2016, 2017 GT Endurance Cup Nissan GT Academy team. 2019 TCR Australian Motorsport. He's got 2019 Manufacturers Series Tokyo World Tour Champion. 2021 Nürburgring 2-hour champion. He's a Track Stars Racing Series 6-hour GT3 winner. And my goodness, it just keeps going on. And he has a charismatic French bulldog named Hank as well. This is incredible stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, it's incredible stuff. Amazing to have such talent here. But, you know, if you said that sort of thing in front of my parents, they would definitely call you a nerd and tell you to get a real job.
We now have everybody with us, and we're going to start with my favourite, favourite, I shouldn't say that. We're going to go with Sidorg. And Sidorg, welcome to you. First of all, mate, how was that session? And do not... Thank you, The Guardian, for following. That is fantastic. And Sidorg, mate, have you got us there loud and clear?
I do. Talking to my third favourite commentator.
And doesn't need to be this way. He's obviously been taken in by the filthy lies that were being thrown around the chat. But no, seriously, Simon, mate, how's the team feeling before the big race on Sunday? Are you happy with that session?
I think so. Our car's a lot better in the race than it is in qualifying, so third is a bit of a win, I reckon. We'll be pretty strong on race day. I don't know how much of the race I'm going to be able to do, so Matt might be doing a lot of it, but it's about time he pulled his weight. So other than that, no, we'll go okay. I think it's going to be a race of survival. I think it's pretty easy to bin the car, as you will have seen. So may the man who can avoid the curbs the best win.
And never better advice spoken. And how was Amsterdam as well? I backed you in there in the GT series over there, mate. Was it a good trip? How did it all go?
It was cool, mate. It was good to be back on the tour. The race didn't quite go to plan, but that's how it is. But we showed good promise, so pretty happy overall, and it builds pretty well for the next one, which is in Barcelona. So that's going to be exciting at the end of the year. But otherwise, it is good to be home, I can assure you. The jet lag has been killing me for the last week, so it's good to be back to normal.
Great to have you back, mate.
Well, I hear, I was just going to say that, Trev, I do hear that the Amsterdam people do make some special brownies to help deal with such jet lag. Maybe you should smuggle some into the country next time.
I saw plenty of that in Amsterdam, as you can probably imagine, but I wanted to make it home, funnily enough, so it was an open.
Yes, no boogie boards there. Thank you, Sidorg, for joining us, mate, and all the best for Sunday and the big race here at Kyalami.
Thanks, mate.
Fantastic. One of my definitely top three there, that man, Sidorg, as we move right across to Mint Matt. Matt, have you got us?
I do, loud and clear.
Loud and clear, says the 2015 GT Academy International Champion. Matt, talk us through that session tonight. I know it's not quite what you're after, mate, but how did you go out there tonight in qualifying?
It was good fun. It was kind of where we expected. Aiming sort of a top three where we could with all the Ferraris that were around us. So actual quali was tense. It was that last lap I was able to improve. Took 30 minutes to do my best lap, so a bit slower than usual, but nice to get the lap in and just pip Keaton. But then Keaton got me in the shootout, so happy days. As Simon said, though, we've got a really solid car for the race, so we'll definitely take a P3 and see what we can do on Sunday to try and get Twitchy and the Hooncourt boys. They're very fast in quali, so we'll see if that transfers to the race. But well done on Twitchy getting pole and Keaton getting P2. Yeah, overall it was a fun stream to watch and be a part of the shootout again.
Great stuff, mate. Appreciate your time, and we will see you for the big one, the LifeLine 4 hours of Kyalami, mate. Go and spend some time with your charismatic French bulldog named Hank, mate, and we'll see you on Sunday.
We will. Thank you. Enjoy. See you Sunday.
And thank you very much. There he goes. We have Keaton with us as well. And thank you for that. We've got Keaton there. Have you got us loud and clear in the commentary box, Keaton? And come in over. We don't want to have to... Fantastic! Fantastic indeed. We don't have to want to have to do one of our famous translations. Keaton, have you got us? Okay, talk us through it, mate. Fantastic session. You've got to be happy with that. I think he's gone, Rob. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I think the Chinese submarine that took Harold Holt has taken him as well. So unfortunate, but oh, he's back. The Chinese have let him back.
Ni hao to you, of course, Keaton, mate. Talk us through it. You've got to be happy with your performance tonight. Perfect build up to the big race on Sunday.
Lap was pretty mega. I don't think I was going to get more anything out of that, but yeah, it'd be good to see the race. It's a pretty difficult track, so I think it's going to be anyone's win.
And looking ahead to the race, of course, wow, it's always tough. The 4 hours, it's a test for any driver, of course, or any team, I should say, mate. But are you looking forward to the big one on Sunday?
Yeah, very keen, mate. I reckon it'll be a good race. I reckon the stints are going to be quite brutal, but is what it is, eh?
Certainly is. Brutal, Rob, being the operative word there. And Rob, do you have any questions for our man here before he goes off and does whatever he's doing tonight?
Yeah, good qualifying, mate. Great lap, really nice and consistent. But chances for the race, 4 hours, big stint. Any special strategies, or is it just going to be keep it clean for the whole race, mate?
About keeping it on the road.
That's
hard
usually a
track
good
to do.
start.
So I reckon keeping it on the road would be the best thing. I reckon that second last corner is going to catch a lot of people out.
No doubt about
Yeah,
that.
it usually does.
And anything can happen, it usually does. X Sinister Trash X says, Rob Dog, first time chatter. Hope you're following. In fact, I think you may have just followed. And Squirty Squid still amongst it. Yeah, nah, good quality. Yeah, did it for the boys back in the factory. Great stuff. Thank you to you, Keaton, and all the best for the race on Sunday. Thanks, guys. And Rob, who are we talking, to? Sorry, I was just waiting for the delay there. Rob, who are we talking to now? I think we have Twitchy or Norm. Toss a coin. Which one are we going to talk to?
Oh, the last time I did a toss was a few months ago, mate. So you can make the decision, mate.
And a little bit, we might go with Twitchy, who is joining us here tonight as well in the commentary box. Twitchy, mate, talk us through your qualifying session.
Yeah, so it was good to get top spot for that one. Didn't actually realize that I was running different tire temps than what I did in the actual quality session because we had to reset the lobby and me and Hyperdrift had made some changes because we were running in the mid 27s for tire temps. Realized we're supposed to be in the 28s, 26s, sorry. And then when we reset the lobby, I just quick loaded the setup, and that was on the other one. So I did that lap with different tire temps than what I had run. So I think I left a bit on the table for that one, but still happy to get pole for that one, and hopefully we can turn it into a win on Sunday.
Fantastic stuff, mate, and a massive race coming up here in this series. What's going to be the game plan Sunday, mate? Have a nice sleep in, full English breakfast, and then get ready to go racing?
Probably not sleeping because I have to wake up a fair bit early because I have to do about a 3-hour drive before the race. So probably not going to get much sleep in, but I think I'll have about six shots of coffee and be buzzing for the race. So and stay awake, but. Yeah, I think game plan is just try and keep it clean, keep it on the track without any track limits, and try and pull a gap on the field if we can, and hopefully we can capitalize on any mayhem happens behind us, I guess.
And fantastic stuff, mate. Absolute commitment there. 3 hours you've got to drive, and then of course another 4 hours behind the wheel on the sim rig, mate. Congratulations tonight, mate, and all the best for Sunday.
Thanks, mate, and congrats to Keaton and Matt for the podium spots for qualifying, mate, and good luck for the race.
Great stuff. Thank you, Twitchy. We'll catch you from 3:30 Eastern on Sunday. I think we've got one more. Have we got who else have we got? I think we had Norm, but we've lost Norm now.
He's disappeared. He's gone.
He's disappeared. He's off with Harold. He's gone swimming with Harold Holt. You know that's never going to end well. But thank you to William for the $20 donation to LifeLine. We greatly appreciate your support. And don't forget, we're almost wrapping up here, ladies and gentlemen, tonight. But Rob, we have the big one on Sunday. from 3:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Time, a little bit earlier for you over there in SA. And will you be making, you've made your return to the commentary box Friday. We will be seeing or hearing from you on Sunday.
Like, you're going to have to speak to the missus about that one, just in case she is either going to smother me with a pillow or not. But, yeah, we'll see how we go. I might jump in for an hour or two and call a race. It's been a while since I've called a race with you, Trev, so it's always a bit of good fun. I'm surprised you haven't been demonetised so far, but no, it's a good night. We've raised a bit of money for a good cause. And we got to see a great qualifying session, and we've made some good jokes, and it's all about the friends we've made along the way, isn't it?
It certainly is, and just to pull you up on your point there, Rob, to get demonetised, I think you actually need to be getting money in the first place. I haven't seen a lot of it, but anyway, well done, lad, says Burradog. Great job from Sofa King. He says, love the coverage. Thanks, everybody. Rob needs to commentate with you two on Sunday.
I got fastest lap too.
Oh, did you?
Oh, look at
you go. Salty Wilco. Good times, guys. Thank you, Heath. See you on Sunday. Hopefully he can make an appearance. And speaking of making an appearance, Prince, Nigerian Prince, Chuck Norris, have we still got you there?
Yes. Hello.
He's alive. He's alive.
I am alive.
It is alive. We are almost out of time, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget, we are supporting LifeLine Mental Health and Suicide Prevention for Charity Month. And before we close out, Prince, if you'd like to just give us a special message or even an update on the donations, please. We're aiming for a certain target before the end of tonight. Can you give us an update?
Yeah, so thank you so much to everybody who's thrown in a donation over the course of tonight. So far, we're at a total of $925.69 raised for Lifeline in mental health and suicide prevention. So it's going to be a big Sunday, Trev. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to the 4 hours. And yeah, we'll see how we go.
We shall see. But I've got to say that this is our third year supporting Lifeline, Prince, currently at a total of $6,275 overall. And if we raise another $225, we'll be at $6,500. And it's a big thank you to everyone out there. We know it's a cause very close to your heart, Prince, and one that you're very proud of.
Yeah, very close to my heart and very close to a lot of other drivers' hearts as well involved. So, yeah, looking forward to it. It's going to be a big one.
As we thank you for all of your efforts, Prince. We'll catch you on Sunday as Rob Mad Dog 1945 Slayer Pearson, mate, congratulations, yes, are in order, I'm sure. But have a chat with the missus, mate, and we hopefully we'll see you back Sunday, come hell or high water.
Well, it's funny because she's actually watching at the moment. She did hear my comment about being smothered by a pillow. So, Trev, this might be my final goodbye to everybody. So, if anybody is wondering, I was murdered brutally. Please come save me.
And a shout out for help. And that is a great segue because you can ask for help if you need it. Maybe she could even live stream it, but we don't endorse that sort of thing. That's all we've got time for, ladies and gentlemen.
Come on, live leak.
We are just about out of time. Do not forget to join us for the Lifeline GamerGearDirect 4 hours of Kyalami with thanks to our brilliant sponsors, Lifeline, Simrigs.com, Cataclysm Computers, GGD, Simulation Superstore, and we are fictionally speaking, of course. But that's all we've got time for, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time around for the big one on Sunday. Be kind to one another. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.
That was a good call. Oh.
I got fastest lap too.
Oh, look at you go.
But